Good morning, everybody. Trust your evening went well. Boy, another hot one here in Wichita. Not officially over 100 degrees yesterday, but pretty darn close. And today we might break it for our first 100-degree day of the summer. It is summer, and that is to be expected. Today, most of the overnight news was filled with denials that there was a deal between Greece and Germany. Germany might extend some of the terms or conditions, but Greece had to cut their pensions and compensation, raise the retirement ages. And yesterday a Greek court ruled that the Greek government couldn't cut the pensions arbitrarily like that and had to restore them. So there's a real tug of war going on. And we don't know exactly how it'll end up, but Greece is desperate for the money. They've got to borrow money to pay money back that they owe. And we all know how this ends, and it won't be pretty, but the day of reckoning can be delayed. Germany is enjoying increase in exports due to a lower euro. A little bit more money in Germany to pay for things, but again, the resentment in Northern Europe, whose official retirement age is 60, against Greece's retirement age of 55, is bubbled up to the surface. So you're not going to get Northern Europe to pay for that type of situation. So there are real political confrontations coming in Greece, and those people Greece don't hesitate to take to the streets. So we'll see how that works out. China officially announced that it was doubling its current debt swap program with Chinese municipalities to help them get lower interest rates. The news out of Europe, France's non-farm payroll number was unchanged, so they didn't add to their employment. So today's biggest news events is going to be out of the United States, will come from the United States. Retail sales is the focus, plus 1.3. Ex-auto, plus 0.8. Ex-autos and gas, plus 5, 0.5%. These are strong numbers, and if they come in this way, based on the unemployment numbers report, jobs report, the Fed can raise interest rates sooner rather than later. Jobless claims, 275. That's kind of the default number. I don't think anybody pays a lot of attention to that number, unless it's the only number of the day. So this would be number 1, retail sales ex-auto. Number 2, jobless claims. Import prices, plus 0.8. Export prices, plus 0.1. Business inventories, I believe it's plus 0.3, no, plus 0.2 on Econo Day. And natural gas inventories, plus 115. So there's your news focus. Now, if these numbers come in forecast, if it weren't for the auction, it would take the market lower. So I think we're going to get, because of the strength of these numbers, we'll see a little selling in the bond, but I don't think it'll break. So we've got this W low at 17 and the X period low at 19. So buying 16 to 20s, and we'd like to get it done very close to 16 if we could. And then 9 to 13. So I think we can buy it cheaper after the news comes out. On the sell side, our resistance is at 24, so we're there. We've got a P TPO wise, we've got a B based on the volume, so 23 to 27. Last rotate up yesterday stopped at 24.5, so we're just leaning against resistance. No magic here. And then we'll make it 31 to 03 for sell 2. Today is the 30-year auction. We can sell in the morning, but at some point the market has to come back. And the 3-year and the 10-year were very, very strong auctions, and we might see a strong 30-year auction too. The knob spread came in some last night, and just structurally, when you go take a look at this, you can see that if you're a chartist, the 48.20 to 48.12 is pretty solid resistance. So I think they're going to get stops above the overnight session high. So selling against this 8 to 12 area, that's where resistance is. That's sell 1. And then we'll make it 19 to 23 for sell 2. On the buy side, 25 to 29, kind of right in the middle, right in this high volume area. But I think because of the auction, we'll see the knob spread widen today. It's usually a pretty safe play, buying the knob spread on the day of the 30 or the afternoon before the 30-year auction. Because the dealers can't move the paper if the market's getting bludgeoned. Okay, gold got hit pretty hard overnight. It's in a trading range. Pretty decent support in the 75 to 80 area. We're there. If we break that, then it's going to be 65 to 70. So we definitely have selling. It started in Asia, continued in the EU, London. And here we find ourselves at 79.10. So 75, 77 by 1, 71 to 69 by 2. On the sell side, 84, 86. Then 89.91. Now, one of the somebody came out and yesterday and said that on the Greek news, beware of rumors, beware of false headlines. That's not going to stop the rumors or headlines from coming. And if it happens to make it to a financial wire, the news algos will pick it up and they'll buy it, or then they'll figure out what they've got. Most people can't really appreciate that mindset of you react to whatever's put in front of you, then you figure out if it's true or not. And a lot of trading is done this way. And the big players, they've got enough money to do it. It doesn't jeopardize their balance sheet. They'll put something on, then they'll figure out if they like it or not. And we, as individual speculators or retail accounts, we don't have that same mindset. And we just have to be aware of it. So we live with false reports, false news stories daily. The spikes. You have to trade with protection these days because of the volatile nature of trading, where you have zero liquidity moments really milliseconds after a news headline hits, as the big players shut down. See what they've got. Okay, support is 1225. I think we're headed lower. 1225 plus or minus, and then we'll make 112 even by 2. And the area that's been holding the market, this 75 area down here, is probably pretty good support when it's all said and done. On the sell side, 1276, 1275, and then 1300. So we're selling 1275s to 1300s. We're buying the buck to 1225. Now, this contract rolls tomorrow. It'll roll to the September contract. Okay, crude came off quite a bit for the right reasons. People were talking about, well, OPEC is pumping more now than they pumped last month. And again, the long-term direction of this market probably is we're going to get a retest of that 40 to 50 area. Don't know when, don't know how, but pretty good selling. 61.50 to 62.75. Been pretty good buying. 56.50 to 58.50, and right now we're at 60.50. So sell one is going to be 61 plus or minus. Might be as low as 75. Sell 2 will be 25 to 50. Buy 1, 60, 60 and a quarter. Buy 2, 59 and a quarter, 59.50. Okay, the E-mini is going to be interesting today. There are times when good news is bad news for the stock market. That might be the case today. We also roll to the September contract, which might complicate it. So September is trading 8 points lower than the June contract. Might help you figure out the relationship of numbers. It tends to converge over a week. So the roll to the new contract tends to bring in buying. Today's retail sales numbers are strong, and historically, if they came in as forecast, it would rally the market. Don't know if that happens today because of good news is bad news is good news. How it affects the Fed action. So right now, this 2100 to 2105 is where resistance is. Maybe it's 2102, 2107. I think getting stops above the overnight session based on this news is pretty good, pretty likely. So we'll make sell 1 4 to 6, sell 2 9 to 11. On the buy side, our 95 plus or minus, buy 1. And we'll adjust these after we see what happens on the news. Buy 2. Obviously 2100, which we're flirting with, plus or minus right now, is an important number. It is a round number. Jobless claims, to refresh your memory, 275. Retail sales, plus 1.3. That's a healthy number. Ex-autos, plus 0.8. That's a big number. Ex-autos and gas, plus 0.5. we've got import prices plus 0.8. Export prices, and I don't think anybody pays any attention to this, plus 0.1. Means we're paying more for raw materials and getting less for finished goods, or we're getting less for raw materials. Business inventories plus 0.2. And natural gas 115. So right here, retail sales ex autos, number 1. It'll be lost in the news release, but jobless claims would be the other number. Now we've got Canada's releasing a lot of important numbers today. It's not, but people will look to the Canadian numbers, look around the globe to see if you can make the case for worldwide economic growth. That's all I have for right now. It'll take a bit to get everything posted.